Welcome back to New Day. Now, we've had a number of stories about men or women committing suicide because of too many issues in their marriages or relationships. Well, today we're going to look at stress in marriage. Can marriage be stressful at all, or is it just an illusion? Well, I've been joined by Amina Bukari. She seems to come very close and personal with a lot of these victims or people who have ever considered it. She's the national coordinator of the community psychiatric nurses. You're welcome.
Thank you.
To New Day. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Can marriage be stressful?
Thank you for your question. It can be.
Okay.
It can be, because stress is when we feel that everything is not well with us. We are overloaded with pressure. We think we cannot cope with it. Then you are stressed up. Then what are the stresses? Our environment, where we live, car noise, people making noise, unpleasant people, stimulants, a lot of things around our environment make us stressful. You are in your own room. You put everything not in good shape. You sit in between, you don't know what to pick, you don't know where to go, and a man is asking you for his socks. You know, you are stressed.
Okay.
So marriage, we have a lot of stress in marriage.
Who is the most stressed in a relationship?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I personally will say both. Because if you are in a relationship, you should plan together. You should have time for your kids and have time for your husband. A man should have time for the wife. But what do we see? A lot of things. The man comes home, he's stressed up from the work. He goes to sit at the computer trying to see what is happening and why they didn't do it. And he'll be there, the woman too is in the kitchen trying to fix the supper for children. They have to bath, they have to do their homework. And excuse me, I stand for corrections. Most men don't have time to help their children do their homework. Then, Mama, what is this? Mama, show me this. So the woman sometimes becomes more, but not always, because it's both of them, because he has his problem, you have your problem. But all we have to do is to come together, plan how we go about it, and then we reduce stress.
Okay, you're a psychiatric nurse.
Yes,
so
I am.
You probably have the statistics. Take me through it. When a partner or when a spouse is stressed, what is the worst case scenario? What's the worst
the worst
can do?
Case scenario is that nothing goes on good in the house.
Okay.
Nothing. And then the man, be it a man or a woman, you got to observe and know your wife very well. You got to know your husband very well. When there are changes, you take notes.
Okay.
Because people don't seem to know the people they are staying with. They are just living. They enjoy whatever they get, but you need to study and know the fellow you are staying with.
So should you court longer than, or should you court longer for a long period before you get married?
Well, I cannot.
Could it be after a month you meet?
I cannot prescribe that, because we have our cultures. We have how we marry. You may be betrothed to somebody you don't know. You may see a woman you want. Even dating a girl first is a problem. The dress you should wear to meet the man, whether you suit him or not. The man too, the shoes he should wear to meet you, whether you like him or not. It's all full of stress. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to apportion blame to any person.
Okay, but do you get people coming to you to seek help?
Yes.
Because they're going through some...
Yes. If you are with somebody, and I know you, I see the way you are smiling. But if I'm staying with you for a longer time, but if one particular mood takes a longer time, then there is a problem. If you laugh for so much time, I know that you are not getting well. And you are so sad, you wouldn't join anybody. I know that there is problem. So all we need to do is to study each other and know when the fellow is good, when it's not good. When I was in the taxi yesterday and they were talking about somebody who committed suicide, I said the wife and the people he was working with didn't do well, because this man would have been expressing certain things. Life is not worth living. I feel like dying. And like some may not talk, because men mostly have bottled up feeling. They don't discuss their problems with even their wives. Some, they just go on drugs, go on drink, or end it all. That's all.
Okay, so do you get people coming to you for help?
Yes, they do come. Some will tell you, I cannot cope with my household, so look for a house help. See your mother, see your uncle, talk it over. Don't shout, don't quarrel. Some will come, when I cook, he doesn't eat, he doesn't talk to me, he doesn't sleep with me.
At that point, what do you do? If for instance you were dating and this man couldn't take his hands off you, now you're married and he could go 5 days without looking at you, what do you do? Examine
yourself first, because when he was dating you, you were always looking cute. But most of us, when you are married, you think you've gotten everything. You don't care about your body.
Okay.
You don't care about the man. When he comes, you don't even care to look at him. You don't care to hug him. You don't care to tell him, oh, I love you. We don't do it because you feel he's now your husband. He can't go anywhere. But don't forget, somebody somewhere is also ready to embrace him. Yes. Yeah. So we do cut our loving aspects down and leave them to go away. And then some people too will embrace, and you have a challenge.
Okay. But generally, there is the feeling that, of course, if it's a perception. I've never been married, so I don't know. That once you get married, you're living with a man, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, familiarity. You become too used to each other.
Yes, you become too used.
Do you get reports like that?
Well, the report we get, I don't want to disclose it publicly. But
without mentioning the names, but you can take us through the case.
If you are in a relationship, you have to ginger it. You have to spice it.
Spice it.
Exactly. You don't just do things
the usual way,
like a methodically,
okay,
like this.
Orthodox.
Orthodox. You have to change things. You are wearing a miniskirt. Tomorrow you wear a long dress. The next you wear nikah for him to have.
You walk around naked.
Yes. When children are asleep,
and then the food too.
When children are asleep, you walk naked, embrace your partners.
Yeah.
But what do you do? The man is so tired, he doesn't want you to touch him. The woman will tell you, always women, they never like what men do. Oh, I don't like that, don't touch me, I'm tired.
Maybe the men can't touch
properly. Lord have mercy. He can't touch you and you married him.
Oh, wait, maybe the person has lost touch. They don't touch the same way.
Well,
they don't caress you the same way.
I don't argue with this. But then if he doesn't caress you, talk to him
Communication
about it.
is key.
Oh, these days, why have you changed your style? Let's watch this one. Let's also practice it.
So you can watch pornography
together, and not the man alone, or you the woman alone. Together, you watch and see it, and maybe it will give you appetite for whatever you want to do. Yes.
And then also, we've talked about that angle. Let's look at meals.
Meals.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the same.
No.
Peanut butter soup.
No, not at all. I want you to sit down with your wife and children, ask them, what do you want today? You put on a menu chart. Today we are going in for this. Sometimes I ask the children and grandchildren, what do you want us to say? You say, this one say, I want this. That was okay. Let's all take this one today. Tomorrow we all take this one so that it rotates. And there is peace. But because, excuse me, I stand for corrections, the man may not be in position to provide. So whatever you think fits, you put it down for him. And the way you even put it down, the food is ready, go and eat. No. Sometime he had it. This time he hasn't got it. You don't have to.
I was coming to money.
You don't have to frustrate him the more.
Would that be the number one stress?
Financial unemployment.
Financial stress.
Yes.
It causes. It runs through. It has a rippling effect.
Exactly.
It causes emotional stress.
Emotional stress. Everything. Because
sexual stress.
You don't even have the appetite. You feel depressed, and when you are depressed, you have lots of appetite for sex, lack of libido. Yeah.
Okay.
So please
So the first way or the key aspect of dealing with stress in a marriage is communication.
Communication.
Number one.
Communication. Then you have to come together. Whatever your stresses have been, see through it together.
And if there is no way out, what do?
You contact professionals.
Okay.
Like the marriage counselor, the psychiatrist.
If it doesn't work?
The psychiatrist.
If it doesn't
you
work?
have elders. What by all means one will work. One will work.
So divorce is not an option. Separation is not an option.
No.
Why not?
Why not? Because you have to take certain things into being before
like
because let me give you an example. There is no Muslim liman who would like to sit people down and divorce you. They will give you time, 3 months. Go and think about it and see whether the woman is not pregnant. And then they will keep talking to you. Marriage is like that. Your grandmother suffered the same.
But you are suffering.
You are suffering, but then they will look into it and see what is being. Is it because it's not working? And most of the time, the people will come in. But when it gets too much, nobody will sit you down to divorce you. But you yourself, the man will go his way, the woman will go his way. But most of the time, they come together after so many years. I've seen 1, 2, 3, or 4.
You got me thinking about one of my colleagues.
Yes. Yeah. They even deliver children in between and go back to join the marriage.
Okay. All right. So, I'm sure there are people listening to you and probably relating very much with the stories you're taking us through. Mm-hmm. And are wondering, what do we do? Our community, what's your title again? Community psychiatric nurses. Are you accessible? Are there a lot of you around?
Why not? Because people frown at psychiatry.
Yes, I was going to come to the stigmatization.
To know where they are. Go to every health facility in the regions. We have a person or two, especially the regional capitals.
Okay. How do we change that perception anyway about psychiatric treatment?
It will be difficult to change it, but then we are trying to. That's why we are shifting from the institution into the community, where you go to hospital, you see the psychiatric nurse and she sees you. If even you are in Tamale, you see the psychiatrist in Tamale, he admits you into the general hospital, and then when you get well, you go back. You don't need to come to Accra Psychiatry to be
treated,
take care of. Yes.
Okay, so we can find the psychiatric nurses everywhere.
Everywhere in Ghana, everywhere, wherever you are, go to every regional hospital.
Are you overwhelmed with cases?
Yes, we are, because look, somebody is depressed for so many years, and you come, you talk to him, you follow him for some time, and he smiles to you. It's an achievement more than money.
Are you paid well?
I won't talk about this one here, please.
Yeah, because I'm sure that
nobody is paid well.
I'm sure there are psychiatric.
And if I want to talk here, they say well, we are used to our stresses, because we have.
Is it possible to get used to stress?
Yes, we know what is stress. We know what is stress. That you are crying over something you can't get. Your pay is not much, but you can't sit down to watch patients beat each other, kill each other, or go over the streets. Yes, we do our work from our hearts. For most of us, we do our work from our hearts, because you can't compare psychiatry to any work, be it the environment, motivation, everything. We are the last. But I think that with the board coming on board, things may work well for us.
How do you combine work stress and marriage stress? It must be a difficult balance.
It is the most difficult in working class and marriage, because
if you work long hours.
Let me tell you a story. A child was there with the father, and the mother had gone on transfer to Takrady. When he came, and the child said, "Oh, Mama, you don't know Auntie Vic. Auntie Vic sleeps where you sleep when you are not there. She comes to here to sleep." Then the father said, "Go away with your lies." But it was true, because she wasn't there. Somebody was taking her bed. So transfers, workload, night duties, shifts, they cause us in marriages.
So then we need to take a good look or a second look at our profession.
Exactly. That is why if I am somewhere and somebody says he wants to go on transfer to join the husband, I encourage them to go quickly.
Okay. And if it's impossible, for instance, let's not even look at transfers. If, for instance, my colleague Amake Abebrese has to wake up at 3 a.m. every dawn to come to work, and her husband has needs in the morning, sexual needs in the morning, he has to eat, the children must be catered for, how is Amake supposed to go about?
Amma will have to sit with her husband, talk it out, get the house help, but the sexual aspects, she should make sure she's satisfying before 3 o'clock.
Or the house help will provide it?
No.
No, we've heard of instances where
you prioritize your needs. Prioritize them. What is important you take, what is not you leave in.
But it's a dangerous terrain, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But then
it's difficult to satisfy.
If there is understanding, most of the time you teach your older children to be doing some of the household jobs.
If they're young.
Yes, if they are young, you try to get a house help who may not stay with you. She comes to do her work. I mean, we can plan.
But the difficulty is with the husband agreeing. If indeed
most
I would want to let you go at that time of the morning, and then you relegate your responsibilities to a house help.
Then if he will not, he has to help her get a job that will satisfy him.
Okay, so Amma would have to forfeit the broadcasting job.
Exactly.
That is stressful. Not doing what you want to do.
But what you can't eat your cake and have it.
Yeah.
There should be understanding, and they will bear me out. There should be understanding. You know your work is that you close at 3, so you make sure that during your leisure time you do all you can. Putting water in the flask, putting all the tea on the table, and opening for him to enjoy himself with you, and then you leave him and go. I think he'll be happy. He'll even bring you to work and go back.
Is it this question is not trivial, but maybe some may find it very trivial. Dating, for instance, who is an example? EL is here. Musicians. Is it stressful dating a popular person?
It isn't stressful, depending on what you mean by love. It isn't stressful.
If you know that this man here, maybe you're dating Sarkodie, you're dating EL,
Beautiful.
You're dating Benny Blanco, who is so handsome, and you know that, oh my God, the ladies will love this man. That in itself is stressful.
No, that is why you have to play your cards very well. You know, the man may so many women will love the man, but the man has his way of loving. If you are lucky and he loves you, fine. But you don't look at people because this man is popular, so therefore no. Play your cards. You see now, you have a handsome. Me, I don't like ugly men. My man is handsome.
Amake loves ugly men.
And I make sure that I do everything to attract you, to keep you, and not to allow somebody to take you from me.
Absolutely, good advice. Because that is Ama's fear, you know.
Her reason for not going to Amma.
Because this morning we were talking about it. She says, I don't like good-looking men. She's afraid of competition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You need to work it out.
Yes,
work harder.
Listen.
Work harder. Because if your man is handsome,
like Benny Blanco,
you come out
so
with all your chest and say, "This is you meet my man."
Benny,
you are proud. You meet my man, but when he's not there.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Amina Bukari, National Coordinator for the Community Psychiatric Nurses. We've been talking about stress in relationships or marriages. Now you know how to deal with the stress. If it's impossible to deal with it personally or individually, make sure you contact a community psychiatric nurse. They are all over the place. They're in every hospital, you said.
Most of the hospitals.
Most of the hospitals, and seek help now.